resolution. I think it's the highest resolution anyone can scan.
Well, I saw the creature, I thought, fantastic. It's a really beautiful model for us to scan because it's quite reasonable size, it's a good textural whitening, it's quite easy to scan to place a dark object. Coming out of here is a laser strike, and we just slowly swipe it across the object like so, and that'll pick up all the detail, hopefully.
In the flying cup, just stand clear, please. Please. And action.
What happens if it closes when you're on the other side?
Now we just wait till it reopens.
We should get going. Don't go. Stay. I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Sorry, cut there.
Well, you see, you realise now why in the old-fashioned days they filmed everything in studios. Because it's so much easier. We've had something, I think, trying to spray crops flying over. We have lorries that come out of the blue. I mean, wherever you go in this country, somebody wants to ruin your filming day.
And action.
I thought it would be really good fun if we could do something that was quite small but quite powerful in its effect. So when Cutter comes back from the past for the final time, he finds something very dramatic has happened.
What happens? You find the anomaly?
He comes back to ask where she is, and no one knows who he's talking about.
Where's Claudia Brown? I don't know anyone of that name.
At this stage, we don't know why she's disappeared or what happened, but it seems clear that something very important has changed in humanity, and Claudia was never even born.
Look, where is she? Doctor, we don't know her.
No one knows her.
Wait, something's wrong.
He has jeopardized her existence by his actions.
Something's changed. We've done something.
But just when he was falling in love, he lose himself.
Oh my God.
Greenhouse secrets that we haven't got rid of. They use a number of different programs to do this, but basically it's all in the eye.
Travelling through time was a big CGI challenge.
The original concept of the anomaly was simply something whereby creatures came from the past into the present. And we never had a strong visual design in mind. When I described it in the script, I described it as shimmering in the air. But what Tim and the designers came up with is something I think really rather mystical and rather beautiful. It's kind of almost like a decoration.
It doesn't appear with a crackle of lightning, and therefore everyone in the entire vicinity goes, what the hell's that?
The other world is fragmented. The doorway to it is fragmented over some three-dimensional space that is the anomaly. And as you step through it, you start off with small shards of the other world until eventually you come to large, jagged fragments. And then finally you're through into the other world.
Praise towards technicians being able to invent a pipeline that takes what usually costs the film industry millions and millions and put it on the small screen for much, much less. They are used to huge movie budgets like Harry Potter, say, or Troy, but then they may only get a very small piece of that pie. Sometimes an animator on a feature film might spend an entire year working on 2 or 3 shots. We couldn't afford that. The animators have to make radical changes to their approach in order to speed up the process.
To allow the animators to work quickly, we're using a very simplified version of the model, but we're asking the director to use his or her imagination and imagine what the animation will be like when it's on the finished model.
We put a bit more movement into it. We try to suggest head movements, mouth movements, things that would give more of a clue to what would be happening, so that right up front the director could look at it and then decide that's the way they wanted to go or not.
process works through a number of loops until the directors and the animators are happy, or, as more common the case, when they give up fighting each other, and we have an animation that we all agree is the right one.
After the animation is approved, the final stage is compositing.
Compositing means the combination of the computer-generated images on the one hand and the live-action images of the actors and the backgrounds on the other. And it takes up maybe half the time and half the budget. The artists who do this, the compositors as we call them, really have to know what they're doing. They use a number of different programs to do this, but basically it's all in the eye.